outside your home, E.ON. Now, Dr. König Thomas is going to come, who is actually the chairman of the board of the Hungarian Association of Executives, and also the...
Thank you very much for being here with us today. I'm pleased to welcome you at the 2022 Managers for Society Conference. I'm Thomas König, member of the board of E.ON SE and responsible for the energy networks business. I'm also the chairman of the supervisory board of E.ON Hungary, so I have a strong relationship to the Hungarian energy market and Hungary itself. It is a privilege for me and for E.ON to kick off the conference, which is chaired by the President of Hungary, Mr. János Áder. And it's a pleasure for me to give a keynote speech together with István Kapitányi, Global Executive Vice President of Shell. Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't have imagined starting a speech talking about a war in the middle of Europe. I'm very touched by the brutal Russian invasion of Ukraine. My thoughts are with the Ukrainian people who are suffering so much and yet defending their country heroically. This war has made us painfully aware that peace and freedom are valuable gifts and the foundation of our whole life. It's a special concern to me to thank all Hungarians for their tremendous support for the Ukrainian refugees. Your humanitarian aid is incredible. Thank you so much. The world has changed dramatically over the past years, and especially the last month. We now live in a world where change is extremely fast-paced and unpredictable. The global COVID pandemic and the war in Ukraine have increased the sense of turbulence, danger, and unpredictability. We live in a world that is VUCA, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambitious. What does this VUCA world mean for future leadership? Before I share my personal thoughts with you in more detail, let me tell you a little bit about E.ON, so that you can understand my personal background. E.ON is one of Europe's largest operators of distribution grids and provider of energy solutions for more than 50 million customers. Our solutions are tailored to the individual needs of our household and industrial customers and enable them to reduce their CO2 footprint. Our energy networks are the backbone for Europe's green energy transition and the basis for substantial CO2 reductions across Europe. We are operating distribution networks in 9 countries across Europe. For example, in Germany, in Sweden, the Czech Republic, and of course, Hungary. With our networks, we integrate renewables to the energy system and enable customers to participate in the energy transition. With every new connection of a renewable energy plant or a new climate-friendly customer solution, such as an electric car or a heat pump, we are getting closer to the Paris Climate Agreement goals. E.ON has already connected nearly 1 million renewable energy plants to its grids in Europe, and that number is increasing day by day. Energy networks ensure economic growth and support social development. Over the coming years, E.ON will increasingly connect large industrial customers with key technologies such as e-mobility, battery production, or data centers to the distribution network. With each project like these, we are talking about capacities comparable to that of a large city. To be ready for this task, the entire international E.ON group and E.ON Hungary have reshaped themselves, the strategy and the business portfolio. We have left the old carbon-based energy world behind and focus only on the green, smart and sustainable energy world of the future. Ladies and gentlemen, the war in Ukraine demonstrates that a secure and affordable energy supply cannot be taken for granted. It is therefore more important than ever to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and drive forward the expansion of renewables and powerful networks. E.ON has set 3 clear priorities on which we will focus our human and financial resources in the coming years. And this is sustainability, digitization, and growth. In the next 5 years, we will invest approximately 27 billion euros, thereof 22 billion euros to expand and digitize our networks, and 5 billion euros for climate-friendly customer solutions. In the last 2 decades, we have made a significant commitment to Hungary, to the Hungarian society, to the Hungarian families and businesses. Our uniqueness is based on deep knowledge of local needs, international expertise and community-focused values. We are very proud of these projects and initiatives led by E.ON Hungary in Hungary itself and in Central Eastern Europe. Just to give you one example. The so-called Danubian Grid is an Hungarian-Slovak smart grid project of common interest of the European Union, which allows renewables to connect to the networks and ensure security of supply by smart solutions in northwestern Hungary and western Slovakia. We are investing nearly 300 million euros in this project. And in a second step, we expand this project to central and northeastern Hungary and eastern Slovakia with additional 200 million euros. For me, this project is an excellent example of the cross-border cooperation of Hungarian and Slovak distribution and transmission operators. And it also strengthens our partnership and cooperation with the MVN Group. Let me now focus on leadership. Implementing such a huge transformation that I described before requires financial resources, new working methods, and technology. However, the most important ingredient is a good team. Anyone can buy transformers, cables, or substations on the market. But the difference between successful and less performing companies is made by their people. The way we care of our people is essential and more important than anything else. At E.ON, people always come first. It's our people who make the difference. They are critical to everything we have achieved to date and to master the challenges of the future. As a young businessman, I was mainly concerned with numbers, data, and facts. But numbers are by no means everything, especially not in a world that is spinning faster and faster, becoming ever more complex and harder to predict. The guiding principles for me are corporate culture, values, and beliefs that have a decisive influence on our actions and decisions. And this is significantly shaped by the leaders, by you. How can we measure the quality of leadership? I measure the quality of a leader primarily by the number of talents she or he has discovered, encouraged, and developed. Being a leader is about winning people, inspiring and developing them and making the best out of them. Leadership is not a position or a title. It is a commitment to develop people and to take responsibility for employees and the company. A week ago, I was invited to a town hall meeting in Sweden, and I was asked by the employees how I would describe my personal expectations on leadership only in 3 words. And I answered with 3 E's: entrepreneurship, empowerment, and enthusiasm. For me, entrepreneurship means mastering the uncertainty that we are facing and actively shaping the future. In a VUCA world, the most important thing is being open to change. As a leader, you need the courage to think differently, question things, explore new ideas, and take the unknown path. And admitting mistakes, both by oneself and by one's employees. Empowerment is all about trusting one's employees, encouraging them, delegating responsibility, and empower them to try out new ways. We can only be successful across hierarchies and corporate boundaries. Everyone is equally important to the success of the company, regardless of her or his position, origin or worldview, age or gender, experience or skills. As a leader, you don't always have to be in the front row. Let others shine. And last but not least, it's about enthusiasm and passion. I'm deeply convinced that you can only be successful if you love what you do. Passion always makes the difference between good and excellent. And let me share a last learning with you. If we join our forces across company boundaries, we can achieve much more than each of us alone. Learning from each other, cooperating with partners on eyes level, and sharing resources and knowledge makes us all stronger. Therefore, I'm especially proud of the professional working group we have set up and launched last April in collaboration with the Hungarian Ministry for Innovation and Technology, focusing on hydrogen and related technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, no one of us has the crystal ball. We can only master the future if we are brave and open to change. By connecting our passion and our minds, we can meet one of the most important challenges: creating a sustainable and safe energy future for the next generations. I wish you a great day with many valuable insights and discussions. Have fun and an exciting Managers for Society Conference 2022. Thank you very much.